Good morning. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Today I'd like to tell us a story that is found in Matthew in chapter 26. This is a story about a woman that wanted to do something for Jesus. You see, it tells us in chapter 26 in verse 6, it says, "Now, when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, the woman came to him with an alabaster vial of a very costly perfume. And she poured it on the head of Jesus as he reclined at the table. But his disciples were indignant, and they saw this, and they said, 'What a waste.'" You see, when they first looked at it and then they first saw it, their first response was, "What a waste. We could have took that expensive oil and we could have sold it and we could have took the money and there was a lot of poor people that we could have helped." This woman wanted to do something for Jesus. And so she came in and she took this oil and she poured it over his head and saying, "Lord, this is for you." Jesus replied to them and says, "Why do you bother this woman? For she has done a good deed to me." What is the good deed you've done for Jesus? You see, this woman had an expensive perfume. And so she took it and she gave it to Jesus. She poured it on his head. Despite what anybody else says, despite what was all going on. Matter of fact, later on, Jesus told him in this that she was pouring this perfume on his body and preparing it for the burial that was fixing to happen. You see, this was just before the betrayal. This is during the feast of the Passover, and this is just before the betrayal and just before he was going to be beaten and hung on a tree, where he would die for your sins and for mine. You know, as you stop to think about it, what have we done for Jesus? Are we scared to because of what other people would say? Are we scared to because of what other people would think about us? This woman didn't give it a second thought of what the other disciples were going to say, the people around the table were going to say. She went in and she gave Jesus what she had, and she done a good deed in Jesus' word. She done a good deed for Jesus. We stop to think about it today. What good deed have we done for Jesus?